Hello friends, welcome to my video. Today I am going to talk about one of the new features of C Sharp 12 is primary constructor for non-record classes and struct. Right now it's available in the latest .NET 8 preview mode. You can download the latest Visual Studio 2022 of 17.6 preview mode and try it out. I will show you how to do it. So before we get started, just a quick reminder to subscribe my channel, hit the red button and don't forget to click on the little bell icon. That way you will be notified every time I upload a new video. Okay, without any further delay, let's get started. Primary constructor for non-record classes and structs in C Sharp 12. What is primary constructor in C Sharp 12? Primary constructor in C Sharp 12 enables us to add parameters to the class definition itself and use these values in the class body. So this is currently available in the latest .NET 8 preview mode and can be tested in Visual Studio 2022 of 17.6 preview mode. In C Sharp 9, the primary constructor syntax was introduced for the class record, that we usually say record and struct record. But in C Sharp 12, C Sharp created enhance it for the general class and the struct also. That's what we are going to see in this example. But keep in mind, the purpose is different. What's the purpose? Hope you'd like to know, right? In records, the primary constructor offers a succinct method to generate public read-only property. So this is useful for creating simple immutable objects mean to store states. In classes and structs, the primary constructor provides a concise way of generate private fields. Since classes and structs often have internal logic that basically relies on the internal states. So the primary constructor adds in initializing these states during construction. Okay, let's try to understand with the help of examples shown over here. If you see the traditional way of writing a class, basically how we write the class, first we write the public class imply, then we define the private field, right? And that's what I have written, private read only a string underscore first name, private read only a string underscore last name. Then I have written one constructor, right? So basically it is going to accept two string parameters, a string first name and a string last name. And then the private field variable we are just populating with the help of parameter value that we are receiving as a part of this constructor itself. Wrote this dot underscore first name is equal to first name, this dot underscore last name is equal to last name. And finally, I have written one properties full name that basically it is taking the first name and the last name and then concatenating with the help of this string interpolation. Okay, so this full name will be having this first name and the last name. So that's how we write a class in the traditional. Okay, if you see this new way with the primary constructor in C Sharp 12, how we are going to write it? Public class imply, and here in declaration itself, I'm just writing a string first name and a string last name, and then I'm just writing this full name, right? Full name properties, and this full name is going to having the concatenated value with the first name and the last name with the help of a string intro. And if you see in this primary constructor, I have not mentioned any read-only variable and population of all those things from the constructor. So these many lines we are going to save when we are going to use the primary constructor in C Sharp 12. That's how the primary constructor help us to eliminate the need for declaring private fields and manually linking parameter values to those fields in the constructor body. Here we are not doing anything. See, the traditional way we are doing the same. Right? So here we are not going to declare any private field and we are not manually linking parameter values to those fields in the constructor. Here itself we have written this at the declaration point itself. Then it will be used throughout in the class body. That's what the primary constructor for the non-record classes and structures C Sharp. So right now I have shown the example for the class. Similar it goes for the struct also. Okay, let's switch to the Visual Studio and see all these things in action. So here we are on Visual Studio. Here we are going to see the demo of the primary constructor in classes and structs. So here basically I have shown the demo for the class for the primary constructor. You can use struct also in the similar fashion. Okay. So what I have done, I have created one console application, primary constructor in class and structs, and it has program.cs file. In program.cs file, I have written this namespace primary constructor in class and struct. So before directly jump into the primary constructor for the class and struct, let's review what was the primary constructor for the record first. That was introduced in C Sharp 9.0. So here I have defined public record imply record a string first name and a string last name. Here I have written a class in a traditional way. So what I have done, I have written public class employee old class, and I have defined this private properties, and then I have this constructor, right? I have constructor public employee old class that is going to accept two parameters, first name and last name, and finally I am binding these parameters to the properties. That's what I have written. This underscore first name is equal to first name, this dot underscore last name underscore last name. And here we have another property is public string full name, and this is the public property. Here basically what I am doing, I'm just concatenating with the first name and the last name with the help of a string interpol. It will give us the full name. Now I'm just going to using this primary constructor for writing a class. Here what I have done, public class imply new class, and here itself I have written a string first name and a string last name. So this is the way how we are going to write the primary constructor. So no need to define any private fields, no need to bind any constructor parameters to the private field variable, right? So directly it will be used inside the class bodies. That's what I have used in the full name properties, where I'm just concatenating the first name and the last name. And finally, it will be giving the full name, right? So let's see how we are going to use it, right? So for that, what I have done, I have written one class name program that has main method, an entry point of this application. Here I have just written name of the primary constructor in class and structs, right? Because I'm just giving the demo of the primary constructor. So here, what I have done, I have created an instance of the record class. That's what I have written, where employee record is equal to new employee, and here I have passed first name Akanksha and the last name Ash. Here what I'm trying to do, I'm just checking whether I'm able to retrieve this first name and last name similar to the Akanksha S or not. That's what I have written, this string interpolation, where we am just concatenating first name and the last name, and then I'm just checking whether it's equal to Akanksha S or not. If it is equal, then it is just going to show this message into the console window matching, right? Okay, so in the next statement, what I'm trying to do, I'm just creating an instance of this employee old. I have passed the value as a parameter Akanksha and as. So basically it is going to invoke this constructor. This constructor, what it is doing, it is just assigning this parameter value to the private field value, right? That's why this underscore first name and underscore last name, it got populated. And here in this full name, we are just concatenating with the first name and the last name and displaying whenever we are going to call these properties as a full. That's what we are doing over here. After initializing this employee old class, we got the object of this employee old class, and with the help of that object, I'm just calling this properties full name. So basically this full name Akanksha S should get printed into the console window. That's what we are going to see it. We are going to execute this program. In the next statement, what I have done, I have created an employee new class object. And here I have passed Akanksha and S. This class is going to get invoked. If you see the declaration part itself, the first name and last name is there. So throughout the class, we are going to get access this first name and the last name parameter values. Here, that's what we are using in the full name properties, right? Public properties. So we are here, we are just, first name and last name we are using and concatenating it with the help of the string interpolation, and the full name will be having the full name of the passed value what we have passed as a part of initializing this class. So here we are going to get line new class dot full name, and it should get printed into this console way. Okay, so let me execute this program and see the output. Okay, so output got appear into this console way. You see the first matching got printed, right? This matching got printed from this employee record class, right? Because it is just checking employee record dot first name, employee dot record dot last name, and it is matching with Akanksha S or not. Because it is matching, then that's what this statement got printed into this console, right? Similarly, when we are going to print from this employee old class, where we are just printing the full name, so here we have passed Akanksha as, and that's what this full name going to capture this first name and the last name, and that's what this first name and last name as a full name, it is going to get printed from the old class. That's what it got printed. Similarly, it is printing from the employee new class also, Akanksha. So this is the traditional way, and this is the new way of the class that we have written with the help of primary constructor, right? And we are able to get this parameter values throughout the class, and that's what we populated the first name and the last name from the parameter value itself in the full name properties. That full name properties we are accessing, and then we are printing this, printing from the employee new class around dot code, right? So That's how we are going to use the primary constructor in the class. Similarly, you can use the primary constructor in structs also. So it's a homework for you. Okay. Now I just want to show you one more thing. For this demo, I have used the Visual Studio, which is Visual Studio Community 2022 64-bit in preview mode, and I have used the version 17.7.0 where this new features resides. C# 12 is going to get supported for this community version 2.0 in preview mode as of now, because right now it's not fully released. Right now it's in the preview mode. So in order to execute this program, we need to use this Visual Studio 2022 preview version, and that's what we need to do, is setting at the CS project file. So here if you see, I have pointed to target framework.NET 8.0. This is nothing but in the preview mode. That's language version we need to mention, because I have just mentioned debug and release. Any mode if you are going to use, we need to mention this language version preview. That's how we are going to use it, because right now it's in the preview mode. Now you need to notice one thing. Non-record classes or structs properties are not automatically generated for primary constructor. So if there is a need which data needs to be accessible, so this we need to create it manually. So this aligns with the typical uses of the classes. Now that brings me to end of my session. To sum up, in this video we learned what primary constructor for non-record classes and structures are in C# 12 and how to use it in a program. Right? This feature is in preview mode, and now we knew that what it is and how we are going to use it if it gets included in the final release of C# 12. What do you think about this new feature of C# 12? Kindly open up. Share your thoughts in the comments. That's all for this video, guys. If you like this video, hit the like button, share it with your friends and colleagues, subscribe to my channel if you haven't done already. Thanks for watching. See you next video.